Welcome to For the Love of Art with me, Angela Pearden. Today I'll be showing you how to mix a cotton candy seascape in acrylic. We are going to mix on a Masterson's paper, palette paper. You order this to go with your Sta-Wet palette. Let's go in with the sky colors first. So we're going to be using quinacridone magenta. And I'm going to make quite a bit of this for the whole painting. We'll mix some cad yellow hue or cad yellow light. We'll go in with some titanium white and put this over here. And put out a pretty big dollop because we'll use that for the other colors as well. Now I'm going to take my palette knife and I'm going to go into the colors of the sky. Let's see. So first I'm going to go ahead and I want to take enough for the whole sky. So I'll do the quinacridone magenta. I'm going to take some of this cad yellow light. And so I'll pull it and smush it down. Pull in and press down. Go ahead and push that back. Okay, now I'm going to take some of the ultramarine blue. Oh no, I'm going to wait on that. Let's see. I'm going to take a little bit more of the magenta. Okay. And I'm going to pull that color off of my palette knife. I'm going to take some of the titanium white here to the side. We're going to make this light pink color that's in the clouds. Okay, that's perfect. I'll probably go a little lighter. So I'm going to pull that color off because I'm going to use this color in the blue and we don't want our blue to turn green by the yellow. So I'm going to take half of that. I'm going to go ahead and mix it in with all of this. And go ahead and pull it together and smush it in there. You can do a little at a time so you get the right value that you're looking for. kind of pull it out and smush it all together. Scrape up and push down. Work those colors together. You can reuse this palette paper when you're done mixing your colors. Rinse it off, hang it to dry, and then you can use it again for another color mixing. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to take this pink color and I'm going to put it on my furthest palette and drop it right there. Gonna push that down and off. It's okay if it's a little not fully mixed. That is quite okay. I'm going to pull the paint off of my palette knife because I don't want any pink in this next mixture. So I'm going to take this yellow, I'll put that down, pull it off my palette knife. I'm going to start with just a little bit of white. Kind of push that together. There we go. You can already tell I'm going to need a little bit more white. I want a very pale pink or pale yellow. All the supplies that I use will be in the description below. I do have it set up on Amazon. If you purchase it from my link, then I could get kickback money from that. Okay, I'm going to need a little bit more white. So I'm going to take another good dollop. And I have two different palettes because I do not want my yellow going into my blues or my teals because I don't want it to make a green, especially for the sky. Okay. That's pretty good. Let's see. I think I need to go just a titch lighter, so I'm going to squeeze that off my palette knife. I'm going to pick up a little bit more white. Go ahead and mix that together. And so I determined the colors that I'm putting on my palette by using the Silhouette software. I made a video on that. Perfect. Okay, that's a much better value there. I can always add more white later if I need to. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pick that up. I'm going to set that right here. Okay. Go ahead and pull that yellow off my palette knife. Now I'm going to go into the blue of the sky. For that, I'm going to need to add ultramarine blue to my palette. So I'm going to go ahead and set that. We'll set that right here. I'm going to put that to the side for a minute. So I'm going to go in with my magenta. Try not to pick up any of that yellow. I'm going to set that right here. I'm going to take some of that ultramarine blue. And there we go. And there's a little bit of yellow on my palette, or on my palette knife. So I'm going to pull that off. Go ahead and put the rest of that ultramarine in there. Okay. Let's add the white to that. So a titch of yellow got in there. Okay. I'm going to pinch my palette knife off. And I'm going to go in with all the rest of this white, because we want a very light color. Okay, I can see right away we're going to need a lot more magenta in there. So we're going more towards a, well actually, let's see. Yeah, let's try a little bit more magenta. Okay, so I'm going to take the yellow and everything within that magenta. Okay, let's see. Okay, now we're going to introduce another color. Let's see. I can use that in my sky and in the clouds. That wasn't quite the color I was going for, but I'm going to make that quite a bit lighter. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pinch off my palette knife, get that cleaned up. I'm going to take half of that white. I'm going to press it, just kind of plop it down so I don't, actually I'll just lay it next to it, there we go, so I can get up there. That'll be a really pretty color with that pink for the clouds. And I'm probably over mixing the amount that I'll need, but it's better to have more than enough than not enough. What I do is I order little tiny bottles on Amazon, and any paint that I have left over that it's pre-mixed, I'll put those in the tiny bottles, and then when I need that color I'll just grab it and put it on my palette. That way I don't waste paint. Yeah, that is a really pretty purple right there. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that up. I'm going to set that next to my pink color. I'm going to go ahead and pinch off my palette knife. Now we'll go into the blue of the sky. I'm going to use ultramarine blue. And we do not want to add any yellow to this at all. So ultramarine blue. Then I'm going to go in with a cerulean blue. Put a pretty good dollop there. And I'm going to kind of pull that out a little bit. There we go. Now I'll take part of that ultramarine, mix it in with that cerulean. There we go. Then I take some more of that ultramarine. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of that ultramarine in. Pull it in together. Kind of mix that in real good. Okay, that looks like a really pretty color. I'm going to pinch off my palette knife. I'm going to add more titanium white to my palette. There we go. Let me mix this off, wipe this off just a little better. Okay, now I'll take the rest of that off of there. Now this is going to be a much lighter value, so I'm going to go ahead and start mixing. Okay, let's see. I'm going to add a little bit of magenta to this. It's a little too blue. Okay, so I'm going to take some magenta. I want it to be a little bit more of a purpley blue sky. So I'm going to mix this together first. There we go. That's much better. That's a lot better. Okay. Now I'm going to take that, go into the white. And it's more of like a purpley blue. Okay. And there we go. Now I'll take some of this, put it right here. And I'm going to take about that amount, make a little bit of a darker value. Let's see. Okay. I might need to add a little bit more magenta to that. So I'm just going to add a little titch. Not too much. I want a little bit more to the purple side than the blue side. There we go. That's better. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit magenta, put it into this. Okay, so I'll take this magenta, that little bit, I'll put it in this darker value. Okay, so I'm going to take a titch of this, put it into this darker value to make it lighter. Okay, get that mixed in pretty good. It's okay if it's not fully mixed in, and make it real pretty on the sky. Ooh. Well, darn. Let's see. I'll go ahead and just pick it up this way. All right, so the blue, I do not want it to touch the yellow, so I'm gonna put it on this palette. Then I'll take the medium value of that. I'll put it right there next to it, and then I'll take the lighter value of that. And then I'll put that right there next to that. Okay. Now I'm gonna pinch off I'm gonna pull this up. Okay. I'm gonna pinch off my palette knife. Okay, so now we will go into the colors that we're going to use for the wave in the water. So I'm going to be using Matisse, let's see, Southern Ocean Blue. You can also use Phthalo Blue and Phthalo Green to mix it and get a really nice teal color as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this right here. I'll set this to the side for now. I'm going to use Carbon Black. I'll put a dab right here. Okay. Then we're going to go in with Burnt Umber. I'm going to put this over here. Go in with Raw Sienna. Okay. Now for the darkest part of the wave, we'll go in with, let's see, about that much to start with. I'm going to take a titch of the black. And I'm going to mix that together. And darken that color up good. That's a little dark, so I could have used a little less black. So I'm going to go and pick up some more of that teal. Okay, that's perfect. Okay. So I'll take the rest of this teal. And just a little tiny titch of the black. All right, perfect. Okay. So this will be the darkest parts of our wave. Okay. There we go. So now we are going to add white. And I will just go ahead and pull it straight from here without wiping off my brush or my palette knife. So we changed the tone of that color by adding black, and now we are changing the value by adding white, making a very light value. All right. Okay, I'm going to grab the rest of this because we're going to need a lot of this white, the lighter value in our painting. So I'll use that whole amount. I like to mix all my paints ahead of time before I start painting. Okay, so I'm going to take this lightest value right here. Go ahead and pick that up. I'm going to put it right here on my palette. And it's okay if it's not fully mixed in all the way. There we go. Now we'll get some more white. I have to order some more titanium white. And there we go. Now we're going to go with a darker value. So I'm going to take up more of that green mixture, the teal mixture that we made. Okay, we're going to pick up a little bit more of that. Okay, we need to pick up a good dollop of that again. I want this more of a medium tone or value. Okay. Yeah, much better. Okay. Pick that up. We'll lay that down right next to the just pop that right there. All right, now we're going to go in with, let's see, 2, 3. Okay. I think that should be good. Now what we'll do is I'm going to go ahead and take a good amount of this darkest dark. Kind of put it right there. Okay. Now for this, let's see, we need more white. Okay. Now I'm going to take the straight burnt umber. Yep, burnt umber, and I'm going to go ahead and put that over here to the side. I'm going to take this raw sienna. I'm going to take this burnt umber, and I'm going to mix those together. We're not done making that teal watercolor, the teal color of the water. Right now we're mixing the sand color, and then we'll mix the sand and watercolor together. Okay, so I'm going to take all of this. Okay, that'll make a really nice sand color. And there we go. If we need to mix some more of that, we can. So I'm going to put that sand color right there. Actually, I should have probably put it over there with the yellows because the raw sienna is yellow. Okay, now I'll take this color that we just mixed. We'll set it right here. Now I'm going to grab some more white. Okay, so we're going to mix the rest of that in with this white. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and clean off my palette knife. I'm going to take some of this darker blue mixture. I'm going to go ahead and put that in with a sandy color. So when the wave is swooshing up, all the sand into the crash of the wave, I'm going to use this color within that. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to set this, we'll go right here with it. Okay. I'm going to pinch this off. I'm going to go in with a little bit more of the umber. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the raw sienna, the rest of that burnt umber, mix that together. I'm going to take some of this, add that to it. Now this will look like a kind of like a muddy, sandy mixture. It'll go really good in the painting though. There we go. I'm going to set that right there. Okay. Let's see, is there any other colors that I need to put on here? I think that's pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to add the Fluid Titanium White by Golden. I'll put a good little dollop right there. I'll put a good little dollop right here. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe.